Today I'm demoing apple streusel muffins. We're using the skills we learned on cutting up a muffin and making a streusel topping in one recipe. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to start with, when you do the streusel topping, notice in the apple streusel muffin recipe, you don't turn the oven on immediately. You have to get your streusel topping done, and you have to get your apple cut up before you do the next things. Okay? So make sure that you do it that way. Tori, is this the apple water? Okay, so I'm going to start the apple water, and I'm going to let you work on the apple. What size are we cutting the apple, Thor? 1/8-inch dice. So is that kind of little? Kind of little, okay? What's the first step I make with the apple, Julius? It's washed. It's ready to go. How am I going to cut it? This way or this way? Am I going to cut it in the middle? No. We're going to have a square. Do we all remember there's a core? Yes? And everything goes in the water as you do it, right? Everything in the water as you do it. Put it down on its flat side. They're going to come by you because they want to make sure you have a square. Okay? You should all have a square. And the rest of it should be in the lemon water, which it says in the directions.
4th cup of flour.
4th cup of flour. Okay? The second thing that I need for it, Isaac. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And what do you have to do with brown sugar? Pack it in. And what's the last thing I need, Heather? It's dry. Cinnamon. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon. Okay, and we need a spoon. Okay, we need a spoon to mix it together. We counted this bowl, you counted that bowl, you're going to need a dry bowl, and you're going to need a wet bowl. You're going to need 4 bowls, right? You've got a spoon on there, right? You've got a cutting board and a knife and a paper towel. These recipes are getting more complicated. You're going to use more things. You're going to need more things. Okay, so before you put the margarine in here, you've got to make sure that the cinnamon and the brown sugar and the flour are all mixed together. See, they're all mixed together? Mm-hmm. Okay, everybody get that? Okay, last time we had a streusel topping, a few people mismeasured the cinnamon. Be careful. Cinnamon's in this recipe twice. First time it's a 1/2 teaspoon, the next time it's a whole teaspoon. The margarine needs to be cold for this to work well. So I will tell them to not put the margarine out until you're coming into lab. If your margarine doesn't feel cold, after you weigh it, wrap it in saran wrap and stick it in the freezer for a couple minutes. The margarine needs to be cold. What are you going to do if it's not cold, Gibson? Stick it in the freezer, but you got to wrap it first, right? Okay, and you have your saran wrap right on the scale, so you can just take it up off the scale, wrap it up, take it to the freezer, okay? If there's 7 of you in the freezer at once, perhaps you should have what on it? Your name. Good idea. Okay, you're going to need your pastry cutter because you're going to cut this into this stuff. And you're going to need a knife because the knife is going to get the margarine off the pastry cutter, right? When you get this done, it should be the size of, I'm going to say peas. Does everybody know how big a pea is? Yes? Or a bean? Well, some of these are still a little too big. So. Put the whole thing in the freezer and let it sit for a second. Okay? You want to do that for me? Stick the bowl in. else in the dry ingredients. What is it, Thor? We need a half a teaspoon of salt. And I think I need something else, Cameron. What is it? A tablespoon of cinnamon. A teaspoon of cinnamon. Don't put a tablespoon in. There'll be way too much cinnamon in there. Okay, and you want to mix all this together. And then what do you make in the bottom of the bowl? Jennifer? A well, after you get it all mixed up. Okay? Okay, that's looking pretty good to me. So it doesn't really look too cinnamony. The cinnamon should all get mixed in and it shouldn't be looking dark brown, okay? Okay, and we got a well down there. Now, we're going to find a bowl for the liquid. Well, I think we'll go with this bowl should be enough. Okay, and how much milk does it say, Cody?
1 cup.
Okay, how much oil does it say? Hannah, please. 1/4 of a cup? Is this a 1/4 of a cup? I think it is. Okay, would that be the proper way to measure it? No, what should I do? I should go down, right? Okay. I think I need something else. What else do I need here, Alicia? A teaspoon of vanilla and something else, Lacey. Liquid. How about an egg? Okay, so let me go crack the egg. There's the vanilla. So if you're going to have an egg, what are you going to need?
Egg bowls.
Egg bowls. And what else are you going to need? A fork. Okay, egg bowls and a fork. And what are you going to do after you crack the egg? Wash your hands, okay? Okay. So, we got liquid milk, oil, we got vanilla, we got an egg. Okay, what is it? What am I supposed to do with these dang apples now? What does it say? Are the apples getting, where are they getting mixed? What does it say? What does it say? It says, in another bowl, mix together milk, egg, oil, vanilla, and the diced apples. So if I'm going to mix them together, what do I got to do to them first? Strain them. So you all have your strainer, right? Yes? You're going to strain them over a sink. There's more sinks in the back, right? Okay, and then bring them back to your site like this. Don't walk across the kitchen door or floor with it dripping, okay? Because then it gets wet and somebody could fall down. And they are still dripping, okay? Okay, so I'm going to add those to this, right? Have we done it this way before with something else? What else do we do like this? Carrots? Didn't we do carrots, something like this? I think we did, but we didn't have to drain them.
Raisins.
Raisins, okay. Whoa, got a few apples overboard there. All right. I'm telling you. Alright, now, I'm going to add the wet to the dry, and how long am I mixing it? A lot? 3 days? 2 minutes? I'm going to get the flour incorporated, right? And it's going to be really what? Lumpy because it has apples. Okay. My assistant coming back? There she is. Okay. Now, in order, some of you, before you scoop your muffins this time, if you don't have the standard yellow scoop that says number 20 on it, I want to see your scoop. Because some of you are having the wrong size muffins, and I'm wondering if it's the scoop, and you don't want to get like that off your grade forever, right? So I want to see some of your scoops if you don't have a standard scoop. And how are you going to get this to be the right size for all of them? Are we doing this? Yes, we're doing that so they're flat. Okay? And take it away, Miss Tori. Okay? Okay, muffins. Everybody, oh, we got to put the topping on. I gotta make sure when she gets done with this, we'll go back and get the topping and we'll put the topping on them. We did this that time. So the problem with the topping sometimes is that the margarine isn't cold enough. And if you put it in the freezer, you can get the margarine cold enough, and then it's going to cut for you. Okay? Some of you are very warm-blooded, and your pastry cutters were hot from all of your pushing. So if it gets too hot, just stick it in the freezer, and then you'll be able to cut it up. Okay? Did we preheat it? After you get your apples all done, then you'll preheat your oven and line your muffin pan. Okay? Okay. Does it say how much to put on each one? Is it specific? It says to sprinkle about 2 teaspoons of the topping on top of them. So there's a 1, and there's a 2, and you kind of want to just push it so it's everywhere. Okay? You see how it is kind of crumbly? It should be a little bit crumbly. Okay? If it's not crumbly, it means that you have too much margarine in it. You need to find me or one of the assistants, and we will fix it because we know what it looks like. Okay? All right. Finish those up. All right?